Hey, what's up? Elib here from Ksoundd.com here on Studio One Expert. And in this video series, I like to discuss the several things that goes into making a pretty nice song. I want to make a cool song for you guys, and it happens to be a hybrid between several genres such as pop, electronic, hip hop, dance, or house. And there may be some other elements that I'll pull from different instruments that will help you guys or remind you guys the other genres I failed to mention. But some of the things we're going to dive into is the chord progression I'm gonna use for the song. The chord progression may be something that you guys are familiar with in other songs, but it's going to be the melody that sets it apart. You guys know about melodies, and then to move forward, we're going to talk about building the drums, the effects, the transition, and also using the powerful automation tool in Studio One 3 here. So the first instrument I like to start out with is some type of instrument that creates a pluck sound. So let's get to it. We're gonna go here to my trusty synth sounds, and it really doesn't matter what type of synth you're using. You can use anything from massive to silent, or even my type from Studio One. But I choose to use this VST here because it's pretty dope. I like some of the stuff that's coming out of here. So we're just gonna go over here to browser, my plug section. All right, so I found something I think I want to roll with here. So, and I like to create my stuff, my music using the keyboard, but sometimes I'll go inside of the piano roll and kind of make adjustments and do whatever from there. So you have both ways you can do it. And there's two ways you can actually do this. You can actually approach this. The first way I started when I started making music or whatever is you can actually create a section like 4 bars or 8 bars, and you can actually create a chorus. You can create your chorus first, and then copy and paste and move it down and take away subtract from different sections to kind of create a different situation in the verse, and then your pre-hook or your chorus or the breakdown or whatever the case may be. And that's what I used to do when I got started. But now I have been going through the process of starting from the beginning, kind of giving an intro and then go into the verse and then go into the chorus, kind of like building with the song. So the way you guys listen to the song is the way that I kind of like building the song. So that's something I've been doing lately, and it's actually been a lot effective. So let's create something. First of all, let's go and create my tempo. And this is how you do type of tempo. You just click on this tempo sign down here. 2, 3, 4, 1. So and about 118 was. Let's go 112. Let's see, what does that sound like? 3, 4. So that seems to be a little slow. So let's go 115. All right, that feels a little bit better. This is what we want to do. 2, 3, 4. Right, so I built my first 4 bars, and it looks like everything is already quantized. So I'm gonna highlight everything, and we're gonna just that's not what we want to do here. Basically, I just inserted this stuff by hitting one note on my keyboard here, and then I went back and added the top notes here, and I just did that just by ear. But basically, Studio One has something pretty cool right here. They have a scale here that you can actually turn on, and it'll tell you where you should be in respect to the scale. This happens to be A minor, so we're gonna go for A, and then we're going to change this from chromatic to natural minor. And so then it tells me all of the notes that are included in this scale. So I can see, so as I insert these notes here, I could see over here as well that it corresponds with whatever number that's highlighted with blue. And what's really cool about this is that Studio One actually spells out the note that it is. So this is F2, this is A2. So even if I wanted to go further and say I want to create a triad chord, I can see what works. And it is, I'm looking at it, how it's jumping. It won't even let me go here in the middle here because that's not a part of the scale. Sounds pretty cool too. So basically you can never fail. Well, that doesn't sound pretty. Making adjustments from the actual plug-in itself, the instrument itself, is pretty cool. A lot of times I'll make simple adjustments, like I want to change the EQ. So what I did was I've added a EQ on here and just kind of did a high cut on it. And what I want to do is put a automation, make this automate where it kind of like opens up more so later on in the song, and I'm going to show you guys that at a later time. But for right now, I like the song to start off like this, like muffled sounding. And if I was to take this off, this is what it sounds like open. Right, but for kicking it off, all right, so that's one way of doing things, how to insert everything. When going into the piano roll and insert, that will probably be the easiest route. But there is another route. There's another technique that you can use, and this route I say will be probably the most significant or quicker route. I mean, it's a little bit more involved, but it will help because just imagine these chords. I would think, especially in this style of music, I will need these chords again. I could take this and copy and paste and put it wherever, but I'm the type of guy where my music is not that simple in terms of the tonality of an instrument. So I may stack this between 4 and 5 times to create something pretty unique and make it thick, especially when I get towards the chorus. So a lot of times I'll take this and bounce it in place. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of eliminates, having the instrument engine running so that my CPU can run a whole lot smoother in my software. So that's kind of the idea of bouncing in place. So another method for doing this is actually going to your quarter, which is located in your note effects here. And I can put a quarter on here and teach my quarter these notes. That way I have these notes at my disposal at all times, and I can actually save it as a preset in here. We're going to put all of the chords on one note. So when we activate these notes, so my C2 will program this chord. So now we're going to go to my D. That's my next chord. Let's go to E. So that's the same thing there. Let's go to my F. See, all of those are the same thing. And then we're going to put this in. And it changes up here. Some of these chords are the same, but to keep everything in, in order, note by note, it might just help to just, keep going. And I believe all of those are the same. So keep in mind that once you do this, if you are on a track where you did all of this on, Quarter will play what you have in here according to the notes that you've already saved, as well as what you got going on here. So it won't sound that great. So what you might want to do is create another track and, pick the instrument that you want to go with. I put the quarter here on silent 1, and right? Let's turn that down. And all I'm doing is just going chromatically from, well, not chromatically, but you know, in the C major scale, I'm just going. And that's obviously an octave above that. So this is pretty cool. This is a pretty fast workflow in my case. Any way will work. Like you can do this and copy and paste things, but this is just to have the quarter here. And if I want to change up the pattern, like I said, you know what I'm saying? You can change things up just to give a different perspective later on in your song. I hope you guys enjoy this first video. My name is Elib from Ksoundd.com here on Studio One Experts. Remember, music is art. You are the artist. Paint your picture. See you in the next one.